Alright guys, I'm back, and yeah. Just before I get into today's video, I don't script this stuff, guys. Anyway, I will be changing up my channel. I've been making slow changes over time here, and I will be still doing my videos like I have been, gaming videos, but I'm adding an additional aspect to my channel until when I figure out how I'm going to implement it. I want to do anime content along with my gaming content, so just an additional thing. I'm looking for stuff to do ever since I stopped doing console stock updates. I was only doing that because of this console shortages anyways, and started getting complaints about people not having enough money for consoles, which is perfectly understandable. But now that the console market's back up, it's enough. I stopped doing them, so that aspect of my channel's been gone for a while. Anyway, so yeah, I'm into anime, so if you guys didn't know, so it's like my second hobby. So I was thinking about doing some anime content. I was thinking about doing some recommendation videos from my anime I've watched over the years, and some other stuff, and just basic. The news format's probably going to be similar to this. I haven't figured out how I'm going to do that, but I'm pretty sure it's just going to be a non-script dichosis throughout the entire thing, like I do with these ones with articles. I'll probably be using Anime News Network and AnyChart, two places I tend to go for unannounced anime and stuff like that. I'm sure you guys have heard of Anime News Network. It's probably one of the biggest news places you can get news from, for anime specifically. It's pretty much a monopoly at this point. But anyways, I'll probably use Twitter too. I'm not really as familiar with the link specific. I follow some anime-centric stuff, so I'll figure that out as we go. But I used to be pretty good about keeping up with anime news, and then I started doing gaming news, and kind of dropped off of that for a while. I still kind of keep up with it, but not too as much as so I'm gonna have to start getting back to that. And just wanted to let you guys know that before we start here. So getting in here, U.S. Congress members accuse Sony of anti-competitive tactics against Xbox in Japan. Basically, the CMA, or Japanese Regulatory Agency, and Sony may be violating some free trade Japanese United States free trade agreements, and basically some light is coming on their exclusives. Contracts and stuff like that, and anti-competitive nature in Japan because they have more of a grasp on the market over there, and it might be violating some laws in the free trade agreement between us and Japan. So, if you don't know, I live in America, so there's that. So they're lobbying his kind of Jomangandr here, and just kind of eating its own freaking tail at this point. You know what I mean? So at first they were like, let's lobby and try to wreck the deal with Activision, Blizzard, and Xbox, and now they're like paying the price for it because now some of their own dirty laundry is coming out, and now they're probably gonna end up getting having to make concessions now that some of their own stuff is coming out as well. Funny how that works. But anyways, that's basically what's happening here. I could go and read this entire thing, but same thing. Articles will always be in the description, so if you guys want to read them yourselves, you can. As give it a synopsis of the article, and move on here. Steam won't support Windows 7 and Windows 8 after 2024, so basically my laptop won't work for the Steam client. So if you guys don't have Windows 10 or Windows 11, you probably should get it. This also includes 8.1, which is kind of less known. It's just basically an updated version of Windows 8. Why it even exists is beyond me. Valve announced that Steam will no longer support Windows 7, 8, 8.1 starting January 1st, 2024. Afterward, the Steam client won't run on those versions of Windows anymore. In order to continue running Steam in any games or other products purchased through Steam, users will need to update to a more recent version of Windows, Valve explained in a statement. Valve continued the newest features in Steam rely on embedded versions of Google Chrome, which no longer function on older versions of Windows. In addition, future versions of Steam will require Windows features and security update only present in Windows 10 and above. So yeah, You guys are gonna, if you guys don't have Windows 10, probably should get it, or at least look at getting it. Netflix might be putting its video games on TVs. And I was making comments, and I think one of my other videos about I haven't seen anything Netflix gaming on the streaming service on at least on TV or anything. I don't really check the mobile stuff very much. But Netflix may be expanding its video game offerings from mobile devices to television screens, according to code uncovered within the streamer's iOS app. As uncovered by the app developer Steve Mosser on Twitter, below reported by Bloomberg, code within the Netflix app suggests that the company is experimenting with running games on TVs using smartphones as controllers, as a one line of uncovered code reads. Netflix's foray into games that launched in 2021 is a supplement to its movie and TV offerings in the year and a half since Netflix has established or acquired 6 in-house game studios, including Oxenfree developer Night School Studio. And I believe I was talking about it the other day. They got over like 50 games that they have in the works. Yeah, over 50 games. Highlight includes Arcade Beat, Beat 'em Up TMNT, Shredder's Revenge. I believe that has something to do with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Interactive film trilogy, Immortality, and a strategy game, Into the Breach. Netflix is also developing tie-in games to some of its most popular series, including Queen's Gambit, Money Heist, and Shadow and Bone, my bad. That's how I read it, like a 5th grade level here, guys. But, yeah, that's what's happening with that. PlayStation VR 2 reportedly off to an underwhelming start. I could go over this, but I'll just read the figures and explain probably why. Sony's PlayStation VR 2 is reportedly off to an underwhelming start, with the virtual reality headset only expected to sell 270,000 units by the end of March. Part of this, I think, is because Sony's made this thing not cross-platform, so you can't play your old VR1 games on here, which I think was a missed opportunity because you would probably have gotten more people to purchase it if that was the case. But they didn't, because they wanted to make more money. My friend has one of these. I personally wouldn't buy it. And it's like buying the cost of another console, so a lot of people don't have the money for it. I don't have a lot of money right now, so I personally wouldn't purchase it. As I said, the cross compatibility is a problem in my eyes. I like not having to buy games more than one time. So, yeah, I can see why a lot of people didn't purchase it, and why it's doing poorly in sales. Could have saw this coming a mile away. And gaming industry is also getting hit with some layoffs more. This is probably the first article I've seen so far on that. Basically, if you don't know, we're headed into another recession with the banking system that's collapsing. I watch a lot of financial channels too when I have the time. So, since the beginning of this year, I probably have been more aware of that. Anyway. So EA has announced it's laying off 6% of its employees and undergoing a restructuring. The news comes via an official EA blog. Post also shared internally with employees at EA, said it had already begun notifying staff of layoffs in early 2020. I think there's like almost 800 employees, 6%. So I have no idea how big EA's headcount is. It's a SEC document shows that the EA had 12,900 employees as of March 2022, so I don't know if they had any layoffs earlier this year. I'm pretty sure they did because they announced layoffs along with other companies announced layoffs. I don't know if they did, along with Microsoft and them. Halo Infinite being 343 Industries being one of the ones with staff on the axe. But yeah, layoffs still going, and they're going to continue going because banking system's collapsing, and that has an effect on jobs, because you got no lending happening because the banks are afraid to lend, and you guys don't know this whole economy is a debt-based economy, so you kind of have to keep those loans a-coming. Anyway, so this is basically what's going on here, and just figured I'd give some economic stuff there too while I was at it. Why Xbox Game Pass is so attractive for devs, whether it's cannibalizes sales or not. They were basically, I remember reading something on Netflix and how it made the movie industry content creation cheaper and kind of ruined the movie industry. It kind of did. But basically, it made it so easy to make cheap content, and that's pretty much what I think is happening here with the gaming industry. Xbox Game Pass has quickly taken hold in the industry, representing a strategic shift for Microsoft that eschews a key part of the traditional model of console competition, namely directly buying games. The subscription service offers all-you-can-eat buffet of games from Microsoft itself, as well as third-party developers that Microsoft is partnering with to host its games, but how much does it benefit developers? And to be honest with you guys, I was just talking the other day, I don't know if it was the other day, about how Redfall is online. You're going to start to see more and more all-online games and stuff like that the more everything starts to become more digital. This is just an additional aspect to that, because most games people are just going to rent through the service and not actually purchase, so they have no incentive to not continue to not make them digital, you know what I mean, all online games, you know what I mean? Like, games are already $69.99, and I don't see them. At some point, that's going to become the complete norm. So a lot of people are going to opt for a lot of these services, and you're going to start to see that degrade even more from here. You guys get what I'm saying. Pretty much that's where I see this is going. So all online games becoming more and more common. No example than the Redfall game that's coming out. Devs say they promise they're going to try to undo the all online function later, but the fact that it's not in there at launch is just testament to that, you know what I mean? Anyways, moving on. Trying to go through these quick because I got quite a few here. Any news I don't get here, I post on my Twitter anyway, so I can't always cover everything in my videos, so just figured you guys to know that. Ubisoft pulls out of E3 2023 in favor of its own live event. They said earlier they were going to go to E3, now they're jumping out of it, so E3 is dead, guys, and more on here. Just to confirm that, rumors swirl around E3's 2023 future as Sega even more publishers back out. So I believe Sega and I believe Tencent was. I don't know if Tencent's on here. Sega and Tencent. Skipping E3 2023 as amid rumors that the promised triumphant return of the gaming's biggest event may not happen after all. It's not going to happen. When they announced in early 2023 that they're definitely going to make E3 happen this year, I was like, skeptical, because I don't think it's going to happen. It's falling apart at the seams now. It's not happening. Anyway, so moving on. Former Forza Horizon studio head starts new studio Lighthouse Games, and this is not Maverick Games, guys. That was another one that I was talking about, a former devs of Playground Games, which is the developer of Forza Horizon and Forza games. Also made that studio, so I have the article for that here, if I can just bring that up here. This is an older one, Playground Games. Maverick Games. So this is a completely different studio. So, former founder and studio head of Forza Horizon developer, Playground Games, Gavin Rayburn, has started a new AAA studio called Lighthouse Games. The studio is based in Leamington Spa and currently working on an unannounced IP. Lighthouse Games is composed of other former Playground Games veterans such as director Nick Wheelwright and creative director John Davis Hunt. I'm delighted the 30 former colleagues and other industry heavyweights have chosen to join me at Lighthouse with Horizon Playground, and I created one of the most successful Xbox franchise of all time, Rayburn explained in the statement. I actually like that there's a lot of new studios cropping up from former devs from some of these big companies, conglomerates. I believe there's a former Take-Two Interactive dev that's also making a game, too. I don't know if he has his own studio, but formerly worked on Grand Theft Auto. I talked about it earlier in one of my other videos the other day. But yeah, so We need some competition for these conglomerates that are buying up everything, you know. So that's good to see. 3DS and Wii U eShops are shutting down today. It's goodbye to the era of eShop games. And if you guys weren't able to purchase any of the games on the platform, now is kind of, you can't now. It already closed down March 27th, so we're already past that. This article was taken from earlier this week. So eShop and Wii U shop are officially dead, or at this point. So all those games, thank God we have some people that are willing to invest their own money and save some of these games, you know. It was the YouTubers doing that. I spent $22,000 on buying up all the games on the eShop only to turn them over to a video game preservation history thing. But good to know that that's a thing. Xbox Elite Wireless Controller Series 2 get red and blue hues. So they got new colors for the Elite controller. This is basically the last article for this vid. I'll get more into my YouTube channel. I'm actually I'll post some of my new assets on Twitter if you guys want to see them. But I got some new assets that I'm going to be using for my videos, for my anime setup, for what I'm doing with that. So I'm still working on some of them. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do for the background music, but I kind of want to jump into it sometime this week, because spring anime season, I want to say April, why am I saying April, it's coming up, and I just figured I should go over a lot of the new titles coming out, starting to air here. I believe they already started airing. There was one I saw and that was new on, if you guys don't know, if I use Watch Cartoon Dubbed, for some free content, but I pay for Crunchyroll and stuff like that, so just figured I should let you guys know. If you guys want to link to that later, I'll shoot you it, but I'll see you guys in the next video, and bye. As always, sources used in the video will be in the description below. Drop me a like and subscribe. If you like my videos, please ring the bell, I'd greatly appreciate it. Any news I don't get here, I'll post on my Twitter, and I'll see you guys in the next video.